has been a little frustrating lately, but nothing warrants this. A passenger attacked a flight attendant. What you're looking at here is new video from overnight. It happened on an American Airlines flight Wednesday heading from Cabo to LA. It is not clear what led up to this, but you can see the flight attendant walking away from the guy, who then runs up and punches them in the back of the head. Other passengers helped restrain that guy until the plane landed at LAX, where then he was arrested.
Okay, so y'all just heard that little audio clip right there, and there is more to the story than just what you heard, because that was a very small, very tiny condensed clip. And if y'all hear some thunder in the background, that's because there is a slight storm that is passing through right now, but we gonna work through it. So you have this guy whose name is Alexander Lay. His full name is Alex Tunku Lay. That is, what a mouthful. And this is him right here on the screen. And basically, if y'all hadn't saw the video by now, basically what happened was, this is the flight attendant right here, and this is Alex right here, and right here. And he ran up, like the attendant was telling him something, and he didn't want to apply what he was being told. And when the flight attendant walked the other way, I guess to probably tell him about this guy, he ran up and literally did one of those hammer punches, not like one of those jab punches that, you know, you extend your arm out, but one of those hammer punches, almost like if he had a knife in his hand, it would look like one of them stabbing punches. Those actually do more damage than a jab ever could, because it's a lot more force coming down with your hand, and he hit him in the back of the head. So with enough force, he could have caused this flight attendant to get a concussion. And they probably should check him out to see if he did get one, because it was a pretty hard hit. Not enough to make the flight attendant fall to the ground, but I know it probably rattled his head a little bit. And then after he did it, he literally scurried off, like literally did like a hop skip, sideways skip, and then ran to the back. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this article coming from Yahoo, and it's going to actually go into detail why he did what he did and what the consequences came of his actions. So the title reads, "Passenger attacks flight attendant after prohibited from using the first class restroom." So that's what kicked this whole thing off. That was the foundation of why this whole thing started, is because he wanted to use the first class restroom when he could have used the other one. He clearly wasn't in first class. He was most likely in economy or coach, and he didn't want to use that one, and he wanted to use this one, and they told him he couldn't, and he got upset, and that's what he did to the flight attendant after he told him he couldn't do it. An American Airlines flight erupted into chaos after a passenger attacked a flight attendant. The physical assault happened aboard Flight 377 on Wednesday. The flight was headed to Los Angeles from San Jose del Cabo, or just Cabo, when a disagreement broke out between the passenger and the airline staff. Allegedly, the passenger was upset because he couldn't use the first class restroom. Footage shared on ABC News reporter Sam Sweeney's Twitter account shows the mayhem unfolding on the flight as the passenger Alex Tunku Lay engaged in an angry back and forth banter with the flight attendant. In the video, the flight attendant, who can be seen back away from Lay, who was off camera, suddenly as he turns and walks away, the passenger runs up and with as much force as he could muster, strikes the flight attendant in the back of the neck. "Oh my God, what are you doing?" exclaimed one passenger as Lay walked swiftly back to his seat in economy and sat down. Passengers were stunned and shocked by the attack. Gasps erupted throughout the cabin. One first-class passenger stood up angrily, ready to take action. Completely taken aback by the assault, passengers restrained Lay, and he was arrested when the plane landed in LA, according to the Daily Loud. A violent outburst and a moment of frustration has landed Lay in a boatload of trouble. The pissy passenger was taken into FBI custody as soon as the plane landed at LAX. He faces 20 years in prison for assaulting the flight attendant. And you know what? If I was them, I would give him all 20. Don't even say up to, I would say give him the whole 20. Because for people, again, and I think I've said this before, in case y'all don't know, flying on planes or being in an airport, that's all government property. So technically he attacked this person on government property. That, when you do stuff like that, it escalates whatever could possibly happen, say, on non-governmental property. So I say let it happen, because this could have turned into something way worse. And like I said, good thing that this man didn't have any kind of sharp object in his hand that he could have did any more damage with, to the point where he could have, let's just say, did worse. Or it could have got to that point. All because he couldn't use the first class restroom. I don't know what's special about the first class restroom. Never been in it. I mean, as long as it has a toilet and it can flush and it has a sink in there and I can wash my hands after I pee or take a shit, it doesn't matter to me as long as it's working. I don't know what's so special about the first class restroom. Maybe I need to see it and see, was it worth attacking someone over, and it most likely wasn't. American Airlines released a statement banning Cooley from flying with the airline for life and shunning violence towards staff and passengers. Acts of violence against our team members are not tolerated by American Airlines. One Twitter user suggested airlines create a national no-fly list to ensure unruly passengers don't endanger others on any airline. Can't be mad at it, because it doesn't have to. It just happened to be American Airlines. It could have been any other airline that he did this on. American Airlines also said they are ensuring the assaulted flight attendant is getting the support and resources they need to heal from the attack. We thank our crew for their quick action and professionalism to ensure the safety of their fellow team members and customers on board. Our thoughts with our injured flight attendant. Our thoughts are with our injured flight attendant, and we are ensuring that they and their fellow crew members have the support they need at this time. While most social media users agree Cooley's actions were unacceptable, a few raised questions about privilege and access on airplanes. Maybe just let people go to the 4 available bathrooms on an effing plane. I don't know, maybe that's too much to ask, said Twitter user Caitlin Nanini. And the way that she spells her name, it just screams PC. Maybe a little bit of an admixture of another group that would be under the umbrella of PC. Still, folks reinforce that even though Cooley needed to use the restroom, punching the flight attendant in the back of the head wasn't the best approach to getting to the first class toilet. It definitely wasn't. Like, what the hell was you trying to prove? Like, you just made it worse for yourself. Now you're banned on the airline for life, and you're facing 20 years in prison. And like one of the people said, they need to ban him on all airlines. If he need to go somewhere that bad, I guess he better gas up that vehicle and drive cross country. Or if he plans on going across, doing any type of international trips, that's if he'll ever be able to do it, then I guess he'll have to take the boat, because he brought this on himself. There's the model minority acting up again. And speaking of model minority, you know I got to ask the question, where's the Asian community to speak about this? You know, unruliness. You know, this almost reminds me of that Asian doctor on that United Airlines flight a few years ago. Y'all remember that? I believe that was back in 2017. I think that was the year it happened. And he was out there acting a damn fool, and they had to literally drag him off the plane. He's literally on the ground, and they're pulling him off the plane. You had so many people that tried to feel so bad for him and everything like that. I'm like, if y'all don't see through this act that he's giving, now you got this guy right here who's punching workers in the back of the head and in the neck, all because they wouldn't allow him to use the first class restroom. And they shouldn't. He didn't pay for first class. He paid for economy. So you use the economy restrooms. Point blank, period. I am so glad with the amount of times that I have traveled by plane in the last couple of years, I have never run into any type of foolishness like this. And I hope I'm not jinxing myself, and I'm knocking on wood as I say it. Because I don't even know how I would react to seeing something like this. Like, this guy literally punched this guy in the back of the head and literally skipped to the back. Like, literally ran sideways to the back. Like, if you look at his picture right here, that's how his face looked when he was running to the back. I don't know if it was a face of regret or whatever the case may be. And this also shows how much of a coward he is. He waited until the guy turned around and walked away from him to run up and hit him on the back of the neck and then run the other way. He didn't have the balls to actually hit this guy into his face, which lets me know that the flight attendant probably had an intimidating factor over him, and his only way, and I'm talking about him, the only way he felt strong or like a man, was to hit him as he wasn't paying attention. Now look at him. Banned for life and facing 20 years in prison over a bathroom, over a restroom. Y'all let me know what you think about this down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. If you are new, hit the bell twice to be notified. If for whatever reason the bell is not working for you, I upload my videos premiere style, which means that you can click the notify me button on the thumbnail and the notification should come to you. The links will be down in the description. I will talk to you in the next one.